everyone, you're with me, Farah Azhari, in another episode of Timesport On The Beat. And today, yet again, in the studio, I have Mr. Giancarlo Gallifuoco.
Wow, that was good. I was wondering if you were going to pronounce the full name.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Not just GG, you can cheat if you want.
Okay, right. Like, so I call him GG. You guys call him GG as well, so it's fine. So today, he's in the studio with me to talk about the upcoming season. I know it's a bit biased because he plays for KL City, but your opinions are not going to be biased, right, Gigi?
They are. They're definitely going to be biased.
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry, guys. At least I tell the truth. I tell the truth.
Yep. I'll give you credit for being honest. So that's fine. All right. So without wasting any more time, because we only have like 30 minutes and we all know Gigi talks a lot.
True.
So let's just start it with the new season is kicking off on August 8th. So how are you feeling overall on the buzz and also the build-up for this year?
First of all, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I would be rude if I didn't say that. Thank you for having me. It's awesome. You've had me, this is my second time, so unfortunate for you. I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited. I think personally, and then also for the club. So I know you're well aware, but like for me personally, it's my fifth season. And I think I feel like an adopted local. I want to keep showing that I'm, constantly trying to improve my game. And also from like a work ethic standpoint, I feel like the challenges are how long can you keep this level of effort up? And I really, really want to show that. So that's my kind of like my personal feeling, my personal motivations. But then from a club standpoint, I don't think I've ever been part of KL being so, I don't want to disrespect any of my other teams, but being so talented.
All right.
And I just say that in the sense of like, the reputation that we have is kind of like a ragtag team, like where I used to say all the time, we're a bunch of misfits. Yeah. Like we were players who were fringe from other teams, and then we came together and we kind of grew into this brotherhood, and KL City worked so well like that. Yeah. This is the first time where it's like, there's a lot of stars on my team, and it's incredible. The quality of training is so high. And once again, I hope not to offend any of my old teammates. They would probably agree with me. But the quality of training, even in the games, it just feels like a very different team. Very different team. And that's very, very exciting for me. All
right. Okay. So we'll go more into detail about KL later on. Okay. Because like I said, the focus here is the league.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. And all the other teams. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I'm pretty sure that you guys have been following because it's part of your job to kind of follow and see what the other teams are kind of doing and stuff like that. How does this season differ from last season? Like, is it going to be more exciting, you think? Is it going to be more competitive, or how do you feel?
Well, you're asking me as a player. And so from a player's perspective, you always feel like it's like a weird level of like the competitiveness in you. The competitiveness in you is like you constantly battle this kind of like, oh, they're strengthening and we're strengthening, and that team's strengthening. Oh, they signed him. And so, you have, obviously we have new teams in the league. Yep. That's exciting. Yep. And then you have Selangor have strengthened. Johor are always strengthening, And then you have situations like even with Terengganu, like there's certain players there now that have played together for their second season, their third season, and that allows your core to develop. And then you have our team, my team. And so for me, there's this level of excitement. And I remember when you sent over the messages earlier, the questions earlier today, and I was reading through them. And I remember thinking to myself, like, the problem when you ask me, or when somebody asks me, like, where's the level of excitement? Like, what's the level of excitement? Yeah. As like a true fan, as a true competitor, every single time the season starts again, you're just full of optimism. You're full of optimism. You want so badly to beat yourself from the previous season, and you want to show. So I think that as I've watched, like Selangor have signed some incredible players. The midfielder from Adelaide United is like a very, very, very good. He's a very, very good midfielder. And then William Lira.
Yeah, William.
Yeah, like he's another very good player. This is all so good for the league, and I just think that like I said to you, And like I always say to fans, the competitiveness in us, every time the season starts, you have this like battle in your head where you're like, I'm so excited to see our best against your best.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that clash. I'm excited to see Terengganu versus Selangor. I'm excited for these games. So I hope that it comes out with some good quality football.
Okay, so what do you make of, like you say, we have new teams this season. So we have two teams, Immigration and Melaka, who's just been promoted from A1. And I know that last season we didn't see any promotions because none of them met the national licensing requirements. And then we have Brunei's DPMM, who's making a comeback after, I think, decades.
Yeah.
So how do you feel with the new additions? Do you think that they'll be able to compete on the Super League level or how?
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not incredibly well versed with the Brunei team, but I've heard that they're quite a well financially backed team. Yep. So I'm assuming that they're going to be very competitive. And then in regards to Immigration and Malacca, I'm not, how do I say this without putting my foot in it? There is levels of competitiveness.
Yep.
And I'm only saying that to say that I say the same about our fans. I believe you have to have a realistic expectation.
Yep.
I think that they will be coming back, especially Malacca, and they're coming back and trying to redeem their reputation a little bit. Obviously, when they fell out, there was financial issues and I feel like they're going to come back in and be a competitive, well-run club again. And I think that should be the target. The target should be, whether that be trying to be in the top 3, maybe not. But I feel like the people of Malacca, such a beautiful city, deserve to be going on the weekend, every weekend, watching football and talking about the game rather than talking about off-field issues. You know, so for me, that would, if I was part of that management, that would be my target.
Okay. As you mentioned earlier, you're somewhat of an adopted son to Malaysia.
Thanks. Thanks.
I
like to think so.
No.
Yeah.
We're all waiting for your naturalization process to go through and all that. So we can call you a Malaysian, like no longer Mat Saleh Jelok all. But anyway, so having said that, okay, so you've been here for about like 5, 6 years? Five years, right? Yeah. Okay. So how do you see the game growing and the league growing, especially in quality, in terms of quality on and off the pitch?
Good question.
What is basically the biggest thing that maybe you've seen change over the past 5 years?
Okay. I know when this answer's over, I'm going to think of about 100 more things I want to say.
Yeah.
But there's been periodically things that are happening over the last 5 years that I've been here that I think the whole of, obviously I'm biased because I'm viewing also as an Australian, but I think that the whole of Southeast Asia is realizing how good it is.
Yep.
So we've had situations like in the World Cup, more Asian countries are going forward.
Yeah.
So you can see already Asian football is improving. But then specifically from a Malaysian standpoint, Terengganu versus Central Coast twice, 1-1 and drew.
Yep.
Huge statement.
Yeah.
Okay. Western Sydney Wanderers, my former club, just played Persib Bandung in a friendly, lost. So the leagues in Southeast Asia are improving. Then you have, if Indonesia, I'm using this in my bias, but if you're saying Indonesia just beat, an Indonesian league team just beat Western Sydney Wanderers, and I've versed an Indonesian team 4 times in the last 5 years, and we've won 3 of the 4 games.
Yeah.
Can I say that Malaysian then is, so I'm not, once again, I know that's a biased view, but you can see just from these simple metrics, Malaysian football isn't something to be messed with anymore. Then you talk about Johor in the Champions League.
Yep.
The Champions League.
Yep.
I have played 5 games in the Champions League. I won 1. It is a hard competition.
Yeah.
And Johor has reached the round 16, right?
Round of 16.
Twice. If you can maybe correct me, but once when they had Forestieri, then they lost in the group stage, then round 16 again with Buriram.
Right.
So,
yes.
Right.
Twice.
So twice. This is ridiculous. And this is only in the 5 years I've been here. So I think Malaysian football is improving at a very, very good rate. I think that unfortunately, the elephant in the room is that we've missed out on acknowledging progress, because the progress is there. We've missed out on acknowledging progress because there's been a problem about salaries.
Right.
Okay. And I think that unfortunately has created a dialogue where you're constantly talking about something else that might not be the beautiful things that we should be talking about. But Malaysian football is getting much, much better. The quality of the games is getting much, much better. For me, it takes nothing away from Malaysian football if JDT and Selangor go and smash 10th place.
Yep.
Because that happens everywhere. When Napoli won the Scudetto 2 years ago, we would verse Verona and win 5-0.
Yep.
Nobody in Italy thought, Verona need to give up or something. No, it's unfortunate that Napoli are on this wave and have chosen good players and they've grown. So trying to tick off every single thing off the list in that question, Malaysian football is doing very, very well.
Okay.
Very, 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 very well. All I could ask for is that if more people come, if more people come to the stadium, if more people embrace it, it works like a beautiful cycle.
Okay.
If you come to the stadium, the atmosphere gets better.
Yep.
The atmosphere gets better. The game gets better. The game gets better. You attract more players. You get more money. And then more people come. And it just goes like that.
Yep.
That's the only thing I would ask to improve.
But you said that getting more fans into the stadium. And then there's argument saying that fans are not coming to the stadium because they are under the impression that the Malaysian League is actually quite boring these days. Just because, at the end of the day, you just close your eyes. Even before the season kicks off, people will be like, nah, JDT is going to win. So why should we bother watching, kind of thing.
Okay, fair.
Yep.
But then can I ask you a question?
Yep.
The 10 clubs at the bottom of the Premier League?
Yeah. Yep.
The 10 clubs at the bottom of La Liga?
Yeah.
The 10 clubs at the bottom of the Serie A?
Exactly.
What about Ligue 1?
Yeah.
When PSG has 95 times the budget of everybody else?
Yeah.
Does the people at Montpellier say, no, I don't want to go watch because PSG is going to win?
Yeah.
No, they go because they love Montpellier.
Okay.
And when my day is done, many, many moons from now, hopefully, and I'm a KL City fan, and KL City is coming 12th, I go to watch because I'm a City boy.
Okay.
I don't go to watch thinking about anything other than that. That's my answer to that.
All right. Okay. So because I know that our fans are quite driven by results, because I think recently also it's been said that you don't have to be a Johorian to be a JDT fan.
Right.
So I think that's kind of where the sentiment is coming from. But in your point of view, what can clubs actually do to promote fans to come to the stadium and be more engaged with the clubs that they support?
One thing I think, if a club can get right, it nullifies all the potential problems, is that if a club can get the fan base to identify I wish I could articulate it better, but I've done too many headers.
Okay.
If you could identify how to make the fan base feel like they're almost also performing. So let me give, for example, in Indonesia, the Bandung fans believe they have the best fan base in the world.
Okay.
So they go to the game to watch the game, but they also are judging their own performance. They come to the stadium and they sing and they flares and the fans, the flags, because they're proud of their performance.
Yeah.
And then subsequently the team's performance, and they love the team.
All right.
So there becomes this tribalism. I don't know how, I don't know what's the secret sauce, I don't know what's the recipe, but I think the clubs need to help the fans create a tribe that goes to the stadium and they perform just like we perform. We love to say on the field, we say the 12th man. The 12th man helps, the fans help. When you have fans that love the club so much and they treat the weekend like you treat the weekend, I think that's how you get more bums on seats.
Do you think that they should be incentivized as well? Maybe that could help?
Yeah. Whether it be incentivized with, like if you buy 3 tickets, you get your 4th. So you're encouraging numbers. If it be like, for example, like Americans love to do things like dance cam and those kind of things, whether it be something like fame and you come to the stadium and you can get, whether it can be like best dressed gets or it can be that they do the halftime show and your kids can play or in whatever way. I just believe that the most important investment for a club outside of its team is trying to help create the tribe that turns up every weekend, because they make your club.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
because I think everyone's kind of stepping it up as well in terms of like fan value, because everyone's having like fans day or whatever it is, including KL,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so as someone who has played abroad a lot, you know, like Australia, where else did you play? Italy,
England, Wales, Italy.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So seeing the level of competitiveness in Super League, like once you came here, the first moment that you stepped on until now,
yes,
has it
increased?
Changed?
Yeah.
Increased, improved, whatever it is?
The first year I played here, the first game I versed Johor, we drew 1-1 at Cheras Stadium.
Yep.
And then every single year, Johor became Real Madrid Galacticos. That would every single year they improved dramatically. Selangor, when I first came here, were 8th. And then they were 5th. And then Selangor now is a powerhouse.
Yep.
So yes, dramatically improved every year. Also, there's especially the top tier have been investing more.
Yeah.
Naturally, that's kind of how it goes. They go hand in hand.
Yep.
But I would just like to acknowledge, because people love to ask me, you've traveled everywhere, you've played everywhere. How does this compare to this and this compares to this? And
that sounded like my question just now.
yeah. Basically.
Go for it.
Yeah. And I always think to myself, you have to factor that it's 30 plus degrees here when we play.
Yeah.
So one thing that I know fans watch Premier League and they're like, but Gigi's so fast. I'm like, bro, it's 16 degrees and perfect today.
Yeah.
Let's ask Kevin De Bruyne if he can run like that when it's 33 degrees, 5:15 in Kelantan, and see if he can. So that does change the pace of the game.
Okay. So weather is a big factor.
Huge.
Right,
huge factor. Yeah, huge.
Because I know that before this, we've all been saying like, oh, it's nothing, you know, just pile on the coats or the tights or whatever it is. So it does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, all right.
It does, yeah.
So I wanted to get your thoughts. Are there any young talents, local talents from across the league who has caught your eye recently, and who and why?
Yeah, okay. But I'm going to be like, I did warn you I'll be biased. So I'm going to be extremely biased. biased.
I'm asking for like the entire league, not just your club. Yeah.
But only reason why I say it is because I see him on a daily basis.
Okay, fine.
I see him on a daily basis.
Go ahead.
Because there's one very, very obvious one in my club, and there's one not so obvious one in my club.
All right.
And like the obvious one I'll say is like, obviously Hakimi has an insane amount of potential.
That's Hakimi Azim Rosli.
Yes, he has an insane amount of potential. And this is not, I am name dropping, but I was at Spurs and watched Harry Kane turn to Harry Kane, Tom Carroll, Nabil Bentaleb. I watched all these people. We all signed at the same time. So I feel well versed enough to say this person has the qualities to do it and this person doesn't.
Yeah.
Hakimi has everything. He has everything. He's technically gifted. He's tall. He's fast. He's even like a little bit arrogant, which is good. It's an important part of being a professional athlete, because you need to shake off a mistake. It's important to Michael Jordan wasn't a nice, humble guy. You have to have it a little bit. You know, Ronaldo's not, you know what I mean? Okay. And it goes on. If he can work on his discipline, if he can give Malaysia 100% of his effort every day, I'm telling you right now, Hakimi will be on your top 10 greatest players of all time.
Okay.
He has so much untapped potential, and it is completely up to him to crack.
Right.
That's the obvious one. Now, once again, I apologize because the other players from KL City as well. Okay, so don't get angry.
It's fine.
But I don't feel like he's as well known because he hasn't had as much minutes yet. Okay. But he's still young is Sharvin.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sharvin is very, very talented, very technically gifted. He's rapid, so quick, and he can be devastating. I just think his only hurdle that he has to overcome, and I think it'll come with age. And I think he will get a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and he will hit his prime, and he'll be one of your best wingers.
Yeah.
He just needs to get the maturity to deal with the highs and lows.
Okay.
And that will come. But yeah, I apologize that I didn't pick out 4 or 5 from other teams, but it's because I watch them every day.
Yeah.
And I can see their habits every day. And because I've seen so many people that are obviously talented and then never make anything, and I've seen people that aren't obviously talented and then make it, you start to see the recipe. You start to see what's required. And that's why I say to you about the confidence. Hakimi's level of like slight arrogance, it's good. It's important. You need it a little bit. But those are my 2 players that I honestly think I could see playing for the national team for the next 10 years if they continue to work hard.
You know what's coming next, right? I'm going to ask you like them in comparison to Arif Aiman, who everybody knows is like the best right now. And this is a player that we're talking about who has never, ever, ever been on the national under-23 side. Straight away just jumped to the senior. That's how good he is. So do you think that Hakimi and Shavan can get to that level?
So the reason I didn't say Arif Aiman when you said the question is because he transcends that question. He's no longer potential. He's result. He's result. He's done on Champions League level. No question. For me, by far the best player in the league. Very difficult to mark. I'm lucky that so far in 5 years he hasn't embarrassed me too much, but he's very, very difficult.
He's got respect for you.
Yeah, he's very, very difficult to mark.
Yeah.
And I was actually speaking about him yesterday, and I don't want to embellish too long. I know we have a timer, but he I always say there's this expression that says iron sharpens iron.
Okay.
And I was saying that the best thing that's happened for him is that he's been at Johor. So because he's there, he trains every single day with the best players in the country.
Yes.
Which is, it means every day you're playing a game. Every day you are improving. Every day you are sharpening your tools.
Yeah.
And he has gotten to a place where his football IQ is much higher than people his age.
Yep.
Much, much higher than people his age. In order for Shavan and Hakimi to get to that level, you need a lot of time because they need the level of games, the level of training, and they're not going to have the 10,000 hours that he has.
Yeah.
Because he has it at the best club with the best facilities. And I am giving Hakimi and Shavan a bit of an excuse, but it's also to give a compliment to Arif Aiman, right? But I do believe where he is now, they can get to eventually.
Okay.
But when they get there, he'll also continue to be further forward because he has everything around him to help improve. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great attitude. He works hard. You can see even in the games how I watched the Malaysia-Vietnam game.
Yeah.
And he started off and straight away he made 1 or 2 mistakes. And I was watching him specifically.
Yes.
And I watched him then for the next 5 to 10 minutes try to work out how to get into the game.
Yep.
And that is ridiculous level of maturity. And then get into the game and then have a good game.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That is incredible. And that's the kind of, to go full circle, that's the kind of maturity that I'm trying to say when it comes to Shavan, when it comes to Hakimi. That's what they have to learn.
Yeah.
This is like top tier elite mentality.
Right. Okay. So because, somebody like me, I can only judge from the outside. Like I don't really know him personally and all that. I've never even, have to mark him.
Yeah.
How you say it's like really difficult to do. So what do you think makes Arif Aiman, somebody like Arif Aiman special and become like basically the star of not just JDT, but in the Super League, like he's the most liked kind of thing. He's the most popular. Why do you think that is?
Well, firstly, he's exciting. The way he plays is exciting. He has like a really, really elite level of like low center of gravity. So he can turn his body at a really fast pace. So perfect for his position, right? That's what makes him hard to defend. Okay. So if I'm 6'2" and he turns me left and then turns me right and then turns me left, each one of these things has a delay. Yeah. And he can do it faster than me. Yeah. Right. So that's where he's superb. But then also, I think it's beautiful because I think he's becoming the embodiment of what 32 Malaysian people like can see themselves in. You know, he's a like typical Malaysian looking boy who plays football like he loves football.
Yeah.
And don't we all football fans deep down the heart, that's how we want to play.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yep.
The little Gigi didn't want to be a centre back. You know what I mean? He didn't want to just slide tackle people and bark instructions. You know, I think that's what's so beautiful for him, and it's so beautiful for the football here, and that's why I'm like, some players are funny when they compliment players from other teams. This has never been an insecurity of mine. I will give my flowers to any good player.
Yep. And
he's just someone that I've watched grow. From the Malaysia Cup 2021 to 2022 to 2022, and I've watched him grow and his popularity has grown. And I think another very important thing is, other than, you know, athletes that get our egos get carried away with podcasts and TikToks and Instagrams and all these extracurricular things. Yep. But in the end, the most important thing is what you do on the field. And Arif Aiman every single year has improved what he has done on the field. And that's always going to get your fan base. That's always going to get your following.
Okay. All right. As I promised you earlier, we will circle back to KL City, your favorite topic of the league.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. So how's that going? And, you know, did you guys kind of set KPIs for yourselves? And then you mentioned before that you guys have better signings. Not better signings. Yeah, I'm going to get bashed for that one. No, not better signing. What I mean is like, you know, you're getting loans from places, and it's like, it's adding a little bit more star power to KL City, right? Yeah. So, your thoughts?
Bro, we have Safawi.
Shamir.
Like Safawi is like a humongous star, and I play with him. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Amongst the other ones. But so many talented players. Yeah, it's really exciting. I think, okay, I'll try to sum this up as quickly as possible. I apologize. So many good new players. There were some players that left that I do wish stayed. But we recruited so many players. It's immediately improved the standard of training. So obviously the better, like we were talking about before with the Johor as the example, more good players around, better quality. So training's become sharper, it's got a better flow. And I think that we all have this kind of feeling in the change room, like, all right, we're pretty good. Like I can feel we're pretty good, but we don't want to shoot too high, and we don't want to set the bar too high or like the expectation too high.
But the confidence is growing.
You know, and especially with each game that's gone by in this preseason. But one thing and we've had many conversations off air, but one thing that I really pride myself on is trying to create a culture where everybody can perform to their best. You know, I'm a big believer in the canvas theory, and I don't know if you know what that is, but basically I want to give the artists the canvas to express themselves, right? And I believe that the best way to create that in a change room is to not obsess too much about specific targets. To only compete with what you have done already. We're competing with KL of last year. We're competing with, we finished 6th last year. We want to get higher than that. And I believe that that's first and foremost going to be our target. Now, do I believe we're going to do better than that? Yes. I would be lying if I didn't.
Okay.
But I think for now, as we're talking, as we're delegating, as we're starting to get ramped up for the season, I'm trying to keep the bar there. And I'm just saying, let's work on it, on gelling. Let's work on this team getting together. Let's work on, you know, a problem that you have is you've got new players. You don't yet bleed the club.
Yeah.
So we gotta help that. We gotta help you feel like you are a city boy, like you've been here for 10 years, like Zafri has. You know, because that's what I've been accustomed to for 4 years. Everybody had been here for a long time. So I think once we get that culture going in the change room where they really love the club and you really love your teammate and you want them to do the best that they can. And then with the incredible quality of players that we have, I think this is going to be a very, very good year.
Okay, awesome. So we have like a couple of minutes left. I'm just gonna put you on the spot.
I did good, huh? A couple minutes left. You thought I was gonna go to
I did not say you did not do well, Gigi. Like, stop cutting me off. Hold on. Wait. I've got a challenge for you. You wait. Okay, so for the next couple of minutes, I want you to do an elevator pitch to foreign footballers, like, you know, your friends abroad or whatever, and how you would sell Malaysian Super League.
Ooh, okay.
Go.
Okay, so I'm on the phone right now and I'm calling someone. I'm saying, come to the Malaysian League.
If you must.
Okay. Whoa, there's so much, and like, you've put me absolutely on the spot. So I'm gonna definitely think of a better answer later. But I think that Malaysian football, it encompasses everything that you want as a footballer. So as a player, you're coming to a country that's football mad. Football mad. Already that makes Malaysia so attractive to footballers. The weather is hot, and you'd be surprised at how many footballers hate cold weather. So that's number 2. Malaysian football is in Malaysia, where the food is ridiculously good. And then you have, outside of the obvious powerhouse, it's pretty competitively even for about 6 clubs. Right. So I feel like from a competitor, you have a large pool of clubs that you all think you can be battling for that 2nd and 3rd spot, right? Yeah. Now, I know people would say, yeah, but you're not going to get the 1st spot. But that's not how we think. We want to get as high as possible. We just want to compete. Yeah. So I think that when I get many of these phone calls from Australia, because many of my ex-teammates do want to come here. Okay. This is kind of the quickest, easiest things that I shoot off. And then with all of them, with football mad country, with beautiful people, beautiful weather, beautiful food, it puts you in a position where you enjoy football the most. Yeah. And in the end, that is the premise to my pitch. Yep. You want to be playing football in a place where you love football. Yeah. And for me, anecdotally, I played 3 years in Spurs in the Premier League, 1 year in Swansea, in Wales. Then I played in Italy. I played in the Serie A and the Serie B. I played Coppa Italia, FA Cup, Champions League. I went to Australia. I traveled to Korea. I played from the national team under 23. All of them. And I never enjoyed myself as much as I do at KL City. Okay. I feel like I can take this snippet, right? Give it to the Malaysia Tourism Board and they'll make you their ambassador. For sure. For sure. Okay, good. Okay, with that, thank you very much for joining me today in the studio. Gigi, I'm sorry to take up your time, you know, like training and stuff. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Really hard, guys. Yeah, I'm trying. All right, so that's it from us, from Timesport On The Beat. You can, if you have missed out any of the previous episodes and you want to hear them, and you want to hear this one over and over again just because you're a huge fan of Gigi, so you can catch it on the Audio Plus app, Spotify, and the Apple Podcasts.